A narcissist will always be surrounded by a group of loyal people, small or large. These are family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, etc. The ones closest to the narcissist, their health will be destroyed at one point. It won't happen immediately. Normally, it's a process that takes years, but one thing is sure. The longer they stay in the near presence of the narcissist, the sicker they'll become. Eventually, someday, you'll hear that these people have perished away, one by one, from mental issues, heart strokes, brain issues, you name it. They will all be young, and their death will happen unexpected. That is a pattern you'll start to see. Over the years, the immune system of these people ends up destroyed due to being in the long-term presence of a narcissist. The energy of a narcissist is so toxic that it can make people literally sick. Just think of Superman and his fear for kryptonite. We people also have our kryptonites, and they are the narcissists of these world. Only from the outside, they look like us. From the inside, they are something else. You may not perceive it with your physical eyes, but animals and plants do have the senses to pick it up. Put a plant next to a narcissist, and it will die within just a short period of time. I promise you, no matter how much love and attention you put into the plant will die soon. Think of it this way. Life cannot blossom in the close presence of death. Life is bothered by the presence and smell of death. Therefore, a person can never be in peace or maintain a good health while being around a narcissist. Seeing someone else suffer gives the narcissist a lot of joy. Why? Because they feed themselves of your suffering. I know this sounds strange, but think of it as a form of energy transition. When you suffer, a part of your youthful energy disappears, but it will not fade away. The energy relocates itself to the narcissist, who is somehow able to use this new source of energy to stay strong and healthy themselves. At your cost. You will see it when you look in the mirror. You will start to age quicker. Narcissism has so much similarities with vampirism that it is no coincidence that narcissism, in the beginning of the 20th century, was exactly called that. Vampirism, believe it or not. For those who are not acquainted with the books of Diane Fortune, I recommend reading Psychic Attack, one of her books. I also believe it to be her most well-known book. The book describes several cases, but one stood out for me. It was the case of a woman who the writer, Diane Fortune, described as a vampire because somehow this woman was able to make the people in her close surroundings sick. The writer believed that the woman was somehow feeding herself from their life energy from others. I believe all her fiancés, for example, suffered from mysterious diseases and eventually died. Once the writer starts to dig more, she discovers that the woman is literally surrounded by close friends and family members who have all become sick during the years. All but one, the woman herself. Only once all people in her close surroundings have vanished, the woman starts to become sick herself. The writer believes that because there was nobody left anymore to feed off, it's causing the woman to perish away. People weren't using the term narcissist back then. The term narcissist is still very young. As I said, believe it or not, they were using the term vampirism to describe people who would nowadays be described as narcissists. Don't you think this is strange? Narcissists know very well what they are doing to their close surroundings. They close a pact with the devil to get a hold of certain knowledge, like the knowledge about energy transition. The demon in return rewards them with things such as a good reputation, credibility, financial wealth, and promotions. But there's always an end in sight to a life path marked by unexplainable and undeserved favors. At one point, their path will be blocked by the presence of a huge stone, indicating that they can't go any further. The favors of the devil are not unlimited like the favors of God are. The demon has only so much power, and God has now blocked the way. Now imagine being a child of a narcissist, coming out of her belly. My early life was marked by nightmares. I was fighting battles with all sorts of bad people in my dreams. When I woke up, I was scared and anxious due to the things I had seen in my nightmares. For some strange reason, in the morning, after waking up, my legs would be covered with bruises, although I knew I hadn't bumped into anything or fallen recently. My siblings would wake up with the same symptoms, nightmares and bruises. My brother, in particular, I remember him having a huge bruise on his leg, and we all stared at it, wondering, how is this possible? It was as if we were being attacked during our dreams. Only years later, after talking to a medium, I discovered why my siblings and I were experiencing such strange and unpleasant phenomenons during the night. The medium would tell me that a mother has, of course, a huge influence on her unborn baby. It feeds from her. If the mother gets emotional or angry, her system fills itself up with adrenaline, and the baby will feed from it as well. Once the baby is born, the unrest will have settled in the body and mind, due to having been exposed regularly to intakes of adrenaline, hate, and anger. Most likely the baby will turn out to be a crying baby, still suffering from the memories of unpleasant experiences in the womb. Later, when they grow up into young children, they will experience another symptom: constant nightmares, like my siblings and I had. I would in particular have nasty dreams of entities so black that the blackness can't even be described in words. It was like seeing a new color. Only the ones who have seen this creatures in their dreams as well know what I mean. Describing it in words is pretty much impossible. They were undefined, very black creatures with no face or exact likeness to human beings, just a vague resemblance to it. Of course, when I say black, I don't mean a certain race. I am only talking about the color black. At one point, later in my life, I would discover nasty and shocking things about my mother. At that point, I had already broken contact, but worrying memories of my childhood and recent news came to reach me. I discovered that she was into witchcraft. When the rumors reached me, I matched it with certain childhood memories and intuitively knew the rumors to be true. Breaking contact with her, showing her that I had no patience or acceptance towards the evil she emitted on a daily basis, had even made her curse me. Of course, this kind of behavior can be expected from someone who is into witchcraft. She was spreading lies about my behavior. It took a while for some people to realize that her stories didn't match, and they finally started to doubt her character and put question marks here and there. But there are still people from my childhood who hate me because of false rumors about my behavior. Some part of me is disappointed and sad for having a mother who wants me dead. But another part, and this is the overwhelming part, is relieved that I am finally rid of her. She always felt like a huge burden to me. Every inch of love I once felt for her is gone, once I saw how she treated my sick father and commanded my siblings to do this and that, even at the cost of their own health. I couldn't understand why they were so stupid and easily manipulated by a woman who didn't seem to care much about them. I could see her for what she was, but I was alone. Remember this: the black sheep, for some reason, has eyes, and with these eyes, you can see things other people can't see. It is because of this insight that you were able to, at one point, start to perceive the narcissist for what they really are: evil creatures who have sold their soul to the devil. And once you see them for who they are, you will be able to save yourself. The hypnosis will be over for good.